Hi trader, this is Chris. Video from Admiral Markets here on the US dollar for the upcoming week. First of all though, be aware of the fact that this video is shown to a global audience but may not be suitable for everyone. Please visit admiralmarketsglobal.com, select your country of residence, and contact an appropriate entity to find out if it is suitable for you. Also, please note that trading for exchange and global financial markets is considered high risk. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. By continuing watching this video, you agree with this disclaimer and you are aware of the risk involved when trading. So far, the dollar index is showing a break, but the break is not going too far. You can see there was a breakout here, some hesitation to go over the top and now falling down. This could just still be a pullback though, because in the larger scheme, we do see quite an uptrend and some good bullish candles, as you can see here. And this channel is still valid. So as long as price, is in this channel, the dollar remains strong. And I think that price could just maybe retest these bottoms in here and then find a bouncing spot as it maybe expands a bigger kind of correction. So with that in mind, that the dollar could be strong, but maybe after some correction, you can see the euro dollar making some downside indeed, but now bouncing, not able to break this bottom. The target still at the 38.2 fib at 115. But not sure, of course, exactly what to do here because price is hesitating to continue lower. And on the hourly chart, we had a pretty rough bump to the upside. On a 50-minute chart, there was a little bit of a falling wedge visible, as you can see here, actually right there. And that indeed sending the euro dollar higher. So with that falling wedge broken, let's take a look at the daily candle. And we'll try to see where we can see a potential turning spot. For the moment, if this daily candle closes like a doji like this, we might see a little bit of retracement, maybe even up to the R1 before more downside, and this could expand into a sideways box. So it depends on today's daily candle close. If the close still is near a low, then I would expect continuation tomorrow. Then I would expect a bear flag to occur tomorrow and a continuation lower. So I think today's daily candle will be an important decision moment. If the close is near the low, expect continuation and don't expect a break above today's high. If it's something like this, well then in that case there's probably on the hourly chart, there's probably some bull flag appearing on this chart and there could be a bigger correction higher, but note that this is still in a downtrend and the weekly pivot point and the R1 could still be turning spots for more downside. So this upside could just only be a part of the correction and nothing more. So that's important to realize. When price does that make that downside, I'm expecting, as I said, 115 as the target, which is the 38.2 fib and the S3 of the weekly chart, the weekly pivot point. And this, by the way, this pivot point indicator is part of the MT4 Supreme Edition. It's an extra plugin besides the, as an extra added to the MT4 platform. So definitely worth it. Not only this, but the Admiral Keltner and the mini terminal and 60 other extra features. So definitely worth the time to check it out. Another useful thing to take a look at, of course, is the webinars, admiralmarkets.com, and then go to webinars and you'll find this schedule for this week. Of course, we got the live trading webinars on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, taking a look at an educational topic. And of course, each day also a short real-time trading idea in the morning. Pound dollar still very much a choppy kind of movement here with ups and downs all over the place. It's not an easy read at this moment. We basically have a sideways zone like this. All right, and we got momentum prior to it. But don't forget, don't rule out the general uptrend that is still applicable and still alive here. We did break through maybe this particular trend line if you connect these bottoms. So that's something to be aware of. Price is testing the weekly pivot point as we speak. But overall, it is very rangy and very choppy at this moment. And it's a difficult chart to look at. We do have a very bearish weekly candle, which ultimately leads me to think that any upside will bump into some kind of resistance sooner or later, maybe around these highs here, right? 132.50. That will be a particular bounce spot, resistance spot, where price might struggle to break through. It actually is the R1 weekly pivot point 2. For the moment though, this candle is bullish, and if it closes like this, it could break through this resistance trend line and head towards that R1 tomorrow. In that case, depending on, we had a little bit of a bull flag already here. In fact, we had a flag like this and a flag like this. Both broke to the upside. I was not trading those because ultimately I was still more keen on trading this breakout to the downside, which never happened, so didn't trade it. But if this holds throughout today, at the end of the day, and we see a bull flag throughout the Asian session, then we might see a dip and bounce like this up to the R1, or immediate break, smaller flag on a 15-minute chart, and a continuation up to that R1. Not an ideal scenario, but at this moment, the bullishness could continue if it keeps its head up here and has space to the R1 if it stays and breaks above the weekly pivot point. I would, again, like to see some confirmation through a pattern. All right, then moving on to the dollar yen. Basically hit the R1, hit the Admiral Keltner, hit the entire 114.50 slash 115 resistance zone, which on a daily chart is all about basically these tops in here. Price is not able to break through that, and if we do get a daily candle like this, then that would be an interesting reversal signal, in my opinion. That is a strong candlestick pattern, and price, depending on how you draw it, maybe better like this, and if we draw a resistance line like that, did seem to be building a rising wedge pattern. All right, so from this point of view, it could be tough. Now, it is at the weekly pivot point, and it could still be at a bouncing spot, right? But the bounce, I do not expect will go too far because of the fact that we're getting a daily candle. And I think that if it closes at least like this, that this bounce could just be maybe a head and shoulders, could be even a bear flag bounce, and there could be a bigger reversal of this daily chart. And in that case, price could head towards these fibs, I think, before a potential new bounce to the upside could occur. So for the moment, strong reaction at resistance, also divergence between these tops and a rising wedge pattern, plus a candle like this, if we get it, would, to me, signal the likely end of the dollar yen uptrend, and a retracement to the downside becomes more likely. Check out admiralmarkets.com for the indicators I just mentioned, for the MT4 Supreme Edition, and of course for the webinars and analytics and much, much more. And wish you all good trading in the meantime. Cheers.